Hello and welcome to After Voices, a series that is part of Voices, a world forum for music therapy, where authors are able to expand upon their recent articles. Today we're pleased to welcome Lora Heller, author of Time in Between, Music Therapy with Adolescent Girls in a Safehouse in Kingston, Jamaica. You can find this article in Voices, Volume 21, Number 2.
What a day we're gonna have today. Oh, what a day we're gonna have today. Hi, I'm Lora Heller. I'm the founding director of Baby Fingers in New York City and adjunct instructor as well as special projects coordinator for music therapy at Molloy College in Long Island. It was through Molloy that I had the opportunity to join a service trip to Jamaica in October of 2016. And I'm so honored that my reflections on practice about this trip has been published in Voices. I hope you'll go to the journal and take a look where you'll see videos and pictures and more information that gives you a real vision and picture of the work that we did. So right now I'm just going to try to give you some personal insights about the experience. It was my first time ever in Jamaica. And while I had worked with youth who had been through domestic violence and mental illness, it was my first time doing so in a new culture. And even though the language is basically the same, there are some differences. There are different ways of speaking that I had to become comfortable with and become familiar with. And I realized that I actually didn't realize until I started writing the article and rereading it, I realized that I had cultural biases, general biases that I didn't think I had as a humanistic music therapist, really always working with unconditional positive regard and empowering and embracing everyone. I realized in my writing, and thankfully with the help of the editors, that I had such a Western perspective. And really, how couldn't I, given my lack of experience in that culture where I was providing services? That said, it was thrilling how the clients that we worked with just connected with us through the music that we brought to them and music that they shared with and introduced to us, music from their culture, music from ours. So the chant that I just started with was a chant that we brought to them, and we started every morning with that chant. Oh, what a day we're gonna have today. Oh, what a day we're gonna have today. And sometimes the lyrics got changed or added to. Oh, what a rainy day today. Or, oh, what a magical day today. And there were some magical moments and magical days. It was hot. It was intense. There were days where the girls were chaotic. The acoustics in the space were not conducive to therapy. And so let me back up. Our team was comprised of a music therapist, music therapy graduate student, a psychiatric nurse, a nurse midwife, a nursing student, and then from Yale New Haven Hospital working with us, a psychiatrist who was the team leader of our mental health team, an art therapist, and a social worker. Other members of the service trip at large included medical professionals, faculty and students, and speech-language pathology faculty and students who set up makeshift pop-up clinics throughout the Kingston area in Jamaica, every day somewhere different, sometimes 2 or 3 places in a day throughout the 5 days that we were providing services. Whereas we on the mental health team spent the entire time at a Safehouse for girls. It's called Homestead, Place of Safety. And the girls were between 12 and 18 years old. And what struck me first was when we pulled up on the very first day, not only was I in this new place, but while I had worked with a similar population in the past, I had never seen it quite like this. It was fenced in. There was barbed wire above the fence. There was a 24/7 guard. And then once we got into the yard, the building itself had gates. And it almost felt like the girls were being imprisoned. And they had to get permission to go in and out. We did have some of our services with them, some of our sessions outside. There was another area called the beauty room, which had been set up at one point to be a beauty room where the girls would learn how to do hair and do makeup. And there was a computer room as well. And the idea is that the girls would be provided with vocational skills so that if they couldn't go on to get other training, they would be able to go on to get a job. So many of the girls couldn't live at home because of abuse or other unhealthy home environment. Many of them, they ran away from home. Their parents brought them in because they needed help caring for them. So there was a wide range of experiences, typically some sort of mental illness and or some significant trauma. So our work with them included songwriting, drumming, improvisation, recreative music, with the opportunity for them to express themselves. But we had to be very careful about re-traumatization and our own vicarious trauma. So how deep could we go with them in the short 5 days that we were there without re-traumatizing, but while giving them the opportunity to express what they needed to and what the music might bring out from them. So again, every day we started with that chant. And we did a lot of interdisciplinary work. Sometimes in addition to the morning chant, the social worker would lead everybody in a meditation. And we did a lot of work with the art therapist. We would provide the musical background for a video that they were doing. They provided, in art therapy, they created a mural that we used to initiate songwriting and that sort of thing. Together we made instruments, we made rain sticks and drums and things like that. So there was a lot of interdisciplinary work. Sometimes that was planned and sometimes it was spontaneous because of the way we needed to use the space. So the main space was their sort of recreation area, also where they ate. Very poor acoustics. And on heavy rain days, we either joined forces with the other clinicians that were there, or we tried separating into two different parts of the room, and not always so easy, again, with the acoustics. But we did find that the music really helped the girls to become more cohesive. So that chant, at moments of chaos or times of discomfort, also times of excitement, when they were happy about something or had good things to share, we would find that one of them would just start doing the chant, and then more and more would join in, and it would be such a cohesive moment. So we had a theme for the week. The theme was the time in between, which is the title of my reflections on practice, and focusing on the time in between for the girls, where they were coming from and where they would hopefully go. So that time in between being their time at Homestead. And so we took a bit of a risk and introduced them to a song by Francesca Battistelli called The Time in Between. And while we were prepared with a whole host of music from Jamaican culture, we wanted to share with them music that we felt would be relevant to teens and teens with their experience, regardless of culture, and how music could transcend language and culture. So we introduced them to the time in between. And we found, just like the chant, in moments of chaos, in moments of anxiety, one of them would just start singing and the others would join in. And it was lilting. It's the time in between that brings me to my knees, knowing you're there with me. And they just ate it up, so to speak. And that became our contact song, and it became a song that we rewrote together. We rewrote the lyrics. And during this song rewrite, we had a small group. There were about 46 girls in residence at the time. And our sessions, depending on the day and the time, were anywhere from, once in a while, 3 or 4 girls, usually 6 to 10, and every so often 20 or 25 at once. So during this songwriting, we had 2 different groups working on the song, 2 different small groups, and we had girls who just an hour before couldn't sit next to each other at lunch. They were just at odds, and they were working together on this songwriting. And the lyrics, their lyric change went from being very negative and hopeless, being in an abandoned house and being stuck, to becoming very positive, to, I'll find the lyrics, to going to a better place. That's what it was, when my sister called and brought me out of the night to a better place. And together, the girls worked on moving in this time during the songwriting from where they appeared to be stuck in this negative place to this place of safety and light. And it was just inspiring. It was just inspiring. And so we found that for those real moments of moving from negative to positive, they seemed to embrace music that we brought to them. Something that connected our 2 cultures was the song Hello by Adele, but the version recorded by Conqueror, who is a Jamaican artist. So that sort of connected our 2 cultures. And then every day at the end of our day, sometimes at the beginning, but always at the end, we came together as a whole group and did just group drumming. And that's where a lot of the reggae music would come out. And we'd sing anything from By the Rivers of Babylon to Every Little Thing is Gonna Be All Right. And at this time, at the end of the day, the staff would come and join the girls as well. And everybody's drumming and everybody's singing and everybody's a cohesive unit through the music. And again, even if we were singing music from their culture, it was just transcending those boundaries. We welcomed them in, they welcomed us in. And for me, I think that was one of my biggest fears, was being able to connect despite the cultural differences, because again, that piece was the newest experience for me. And I was dealing with my own culture shock, the weather, the food, what I perceived as the accents that the girls had and the patois that they were speaking. So our team leader, the psychiatrist from Yale New Haven Hospital, was Jamaican born and bred, as was one of the nurses on our team. And so they provided so much of that support, some translations, and some connection between our team and the girls. And they provided training for the staff. So while the girls were in therapy and services with us, the staff was in therapy and group sessions with our other team members. And we found that by the end of the week, the staff were treating the girls in ways that were just much more human and much more appropriate. And I don't mean culturally. I mean we weren't asking that they take on the way that we might behave towards the girls, because we needed to make sure that culturally it was all appropriate, because there are different things that are appropriate in different cultures, but to be supportive and to be loving and to be engaging. And so the staff engaged in the music with us. As music therapists, my grad student and I helped choose pieces of music that the psychiatrist and the social worker would bring into sessions with the staff. We all sang as a team ourselves. We would sing together in the mornings to get ready for the day. And our contact song as a team was Dona Nobis Pacem. And so singing, Dona nobis pacem, Dona nobis pacem, pacem. It was so grounding for us. And so we used that as a team. We brought it to the greater team, the nurses and the social speech pathologists, when we would have dinners together. And we brought it to the staff. And then the staff decided they wanted to share that with the girls. So there was all this mutual sharing. It was just beautiful. It was beautiful. So that interdisciplinary work was very, very special. We definitely had to deal with, as I mentioned, cross-cultural considerations, their perspectives on mental health. And while, again, we wanted to be understanding and embracing of their culture and our cultural differences, still helping the staff to see the girls without stigmatizing them. And as much as there's a stigma around mental illness here in the United States, it's tremendous in Jamaica. And so to help the staff learn to embrace the girls and to give them some tools to interact with them through music, through art, through journaling, through talking, that where they could develop healthy and healthier relationships. So by the end of the week, we found that some of the most unifying moments were when we were chanting, when we were singing the theme song, when we were drumming, and overall group singing. And some of the most unifying moments were when the girls initiated that. So again, it was a week filled with intensity and culture shock and new experiences and unusual expectations and music and art and self-expression and understanding and exciting connection. So in the article, my reflections on practice, I give you a little bit of introduction to a few of the girls so you could get a sense of who they were and how they participated, as well as some very specific interventions that we did, including the drumming and the group singing and the lyric rewrite. And I'm hoping that you'll go to that article at Voices and take a look at it, get a little more information about the background of Homestead, what's going on in Jamaica, how we chose our music, and what some of the outcomes were of our music therapy work and our interdisciplinary work with the girls. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll just go out with our chant. Oh, what a day we're gonna have today. Oh, what a day we're gonna have today.
Thank you for watching. Please go to our website, voices.no, for more information. Volume 22, number 3, will be out shortly this November. Please stay tuned. Thank you for watching.